What is up, everybody, and welcome to the episode number 2 of our Leeds United career mode in FIFA 17. This is a 20-odd, or just short of 20-minute episode. The reason being for that, it's not a special episode or anything like that. When I was recording this, I actually made a mistake. There's 4 games of gameplay in this episode, when normally I only do around 2, and those episodes are normally about a 10-minute length each. So that's the reason why it's a 20-odd or just short of 20-minute episode today, is because you'll be seeing 4 games throughout the course of today's episode. So it's basically like having a double upload, except it's in one episode, in just jam-packed all into one. So yeah, don't be expecting 20 minutes or just short of 20-minute episodes for every single episode in the series, because it just won't happen. This is just one of those occasions where I had enough clips from the early access that I could use in one episode, and obviously I haven't got around to recording the 3rd episode and the 4th episode and so on of this series. So this was all the clips I had left, thrown into the 2nd episode for you guys to enjoy. You're going to be seeing a bunch of gameplay in today's episode. We have a number of games kicking off here with a game against Oldham in the EFL Cup, which is the equivalent of the League Cup, which is what it used to be called. But for some reason now it's called the EFL Cup, which I don't really know why they changed the name. It doesn't really change all that much, because all it basically says now is the English Football League Cup. So it doesn't really make sense, when it was called the League Cup anyway, to change it and add 2 words into that, which, yeah, it just seems a bit stupid, really. But we did have Oldham in the first game of this short of 20-minute episode. I'm going to stop calling it a 20-minute episode. Let's call it a 19.5-minute episode, as that was a team we named for this one. It's a weaker side to what we normally name, but still, there's enough quality in that side for us to beat a team like Oldham. No disrespect to Oldham themselves, but it's not a side that we should struggle against, in all honesty. Let's face it, if we are serious about our ambitions for this series, we should be brushing past Oldham with ease here, especially when it's a new game as well, so it's on world-class difficulty this. You're going to see I do bump up to Legendary in this episode, but you're going to see one of the games, there's just no point in me bumping up to Legendary. Unless you guys really want me to, I'll keep it a world-class. The only reason why is you'll see coming towards the end of this episode why I don't really want to bump it up to Legendary just yet, until I'm sort of knowing the basics, knowing what works on this FIFA and knowing what doesn't, as Antonsen makes it 1-0 for us in the 10th minute of this game. It's a really weird goal as well, I have to say. It's a weird one because it sort of ends up in the back of the net, but I don't really know how, because it wasn't the greatest of strikes, and he gets very, very lucky with the way the ball goes through to him. It takes a deflection, and then he sort of takes a touch and just basically side foots it past the goalkeeper. There you go. I don't know what the goalkeeper's doing there, miles off his line. He shouldn't be that far out, and it's really poor from him in all honesty. But going back to the Legendary and world class bit, I have noticed as well, Chesnoy Gaming did the first few episodes of his career mode on world class, so maybe we'll spend the first 5 episodes, let's call it, of this series on world class, and maybe we'll bump it up to Legendary after that. But you're going to see in the episode that I'll show you here, if I do play on Legendary, it is very, very, very difficult to create chances, and that's not me being like, me finding it difficult. I'm saying I play a game later on in the episode where there's literally 2 shots in the entire game. Both of them were off target. It came 1 for them and 1 for me, so it depends. If you guys are interested in wanting to see gameplay in the episode, then I'll keep it world class just for now until I get the hang of things. But if you want to see me face more tough opposition and probably lose a number of games here in this series, or maybe not even lose a number of games, but you will be seeing 0-0 ball draws as well, a lot in this series at the moment until I get the hang of Legendary. I am playing a career mode that's not on YouTube, just to sort of play it on Legendary, try and get myself to the point where I can sort of know what works, know what doesn't work, and basically get used to it before I start going into it here. So in that way I have more entertaining episodes for you guys, because right now if I play this on Legendary, it would be 0-0 ball draws, and that's not what I want from episodes. I want them to be quite interesting as we make it 2-0, by the way, through a header. And then in the 27th minute of this game, I think it's Luke Murphy, there you go. He actually has a strike, which wasn't too far away. You're going to be seeing from the replay here. It's only just gone over the bar, and it actually touches the pole behind the net there, as you can see there. It actually hits it and comes back off. I thought originally it hit the post, but it didn't hit the pole behind it. Oldham will create their first chance here in the 35th minute as we brought them down on the edge of our area. I'm not really sure what was wrong with that. I guess the referee thought that I came through the back of him, but I thought that was a completely fine challenge. We won the ball, got it away from them. But you're going to see from this original free kick, well, from the free kick, I put someone on the line, then for some stupid reason, I switch player and decide to run off, so my guy comes off the line. And you're going to see, if I'd have been on the line, it would have been blocked. But I wasn't on the line, and it ends up in the back of the net. So we're 2-1 up here against an Oldham side that are really going for it in this game. They weren't going to sit back and just watch us run away and run rampant with this victory. They wanted to get themselves something out of this. It's a good free kick. The wall didn't do their job, though, as we see Antonsen and Dallas both sort of duck out the way of that, and he goes between the both of them and ends up in the back of the net. But having said that, like I said, If I'd have kept the man on the line, he wouldn't have ended up in the back of the net. And Brian Wilson gets Oldham a lifeline back in the 37th minute of this one. I think it's Oldham who actually created the second chance, or their next chance, or it might be us actually. I can't remember off the top of my head. No, it's us. No, sorry, it's Oldham, like I said, yeah. 42nd minute into this game as they created themselves a chance to get themselves back in this at 2-2. But unfortunately for them, he ends up skying the ball high and wide. You'll see in a second here as we give it, well, as they give it into their striker, or Brian Wilson, sorry, it wasn't their striker. It was Brian Wilson who just got that free kick, and he could only find over the bar, or well, wide of the post and sort of over the bar. And coming out for the second half here is Alex Moat down this right-hand side. Was going to work a chance for himself. He puts the ball down the line to Louis Coyle. Coyle's going to whip the ball in with a cross, and somehow, I don't quite know what happened. The ball ends up at the back of the net, but I thought at first that it was a Moat goal, but then when I saw that Louis Coyle was celebrating the finish, that must have meant that it was an own goal. And if you take a look at this, it actually looks as if Alex Moat's actually got the final touch on this, but looking at it from that angle, it could go either way. So I don't really know who actually got the final touch. The goal's being credited as an own goal, and it means that Louis Coyle got to celebrate it with his cross. But I would have actually given that to Alex Moat if it was me, just because I want to obviously have as many goal scorers as possible. And I'd rather it not be an own goal. But that made it 3-1 in this game. And we were cruising in all honesty at 51 minutes here. Luke Murphy into the right-hand side of the pitch now. Going to cut back inside. Goes to the man in the middle. Gives it back to Luke Murphy. Murphy inside to, I think it's Moat again. And Moat this time. There's no question about who finishes this one off as he gets one-on-one with the goalkeeper on his right foot. I think it's his weaker right foot as well. And he slots it home in the 54th minute. So at this point, we were running rampant with this victory. Oldham didn't have enough to contain us. Like I said, we should be brushing past them. They gave it a good go with those two chances. If they'd have pulled it back to 2-2, who knows what way this game would have gone. But for us, it didn't matter. We were 4-1 up and we were cruising. And there's time to add a fifth as well. You're going to see here, 63 minutes into this one, Murphy, who's been instrumental all game, gives it inside. And then it's one more ball into Antonsen. Antonsen into Diarraga, and Diarraga's going to finish that one home with his right foot into the top-ish corner of the goal in the 65th minute of that game to make it 5-1 to us. And that would be it. We were cruising in the first round of the EFL Cup. Well, I don't know if we're actually in the first round. I think we actually get a bye or something. We might not actually. I think this is the first round, but I could be wrong. I'm so used to playing with Premier League sides, and most of them don't join the EFL Cup until the third round of the Cup. So if I can't actually remember if some of the Championship sides get that as well, but I don't know off the top of my head. But I think it was the first round of the EFL Cup. You're going to see here as well, I'll show you, just to make sure, before anyone decides to put it in the comments, that I'm using sliders and all this other stuff. There you go. That is, my slider's done. It's all at 50. Just to let you guys know, I know some people might say it's been edited, but no, I have been genuinely playing with 50 on every single option for the sliders, which is, yeah, in case you were interested in that. Obviously, a lot of people won't be interested. Some people just don't really care, to be honest with you, and just want to see a very good episode. But some people like to hate and say that sliders are being used during a series, which they're really not. If you actually play FIFA a lot and you get used to it, you can score some pretty nice goals. But yeah, a lot of people like to say it's sliders and stuff like that, which really gets on my nerves because, you know, as a YouTuber, some of the bigger ones as well that get it a lot on a regular basis, people saying, oh yeah, they're playing on a difficulty that's too easy, or they're playing on sliders or stuff like that. What would be the point in those bigger YouTubers actually lying and saying that they're playing on a difficulty that they're not, simply for the video? It just doesn't make sense. If they're saying they're playing Legendary, the chances are they're playing on Legendary. The reason that people would then sit there and say, oh yeah, it's too easy, you know, you're not playing on difficulty, doesn't make sense. If they were going to lie to their subscribers and say that they're playing on a difficulty that they're not on, then at the end of the day, that's their own problem, because they shouldn't be lying to their subscribers and saying that they're playing on difficulty that they're not, when they're playing on one other one. So it just doesn't make sense. Like with me, I'll always tell you if it's on World Class, if it's on Professional, if it's on Legendary, I'll tell you what difficulty I'm playing on, and I'll give you an explanation as to why I've chose that. So at the moment, like I said, we're actually on World Class difficulty, and I've said that from the start, and you're going to be seeing as well, next game of this episode will be on Legendary against Fulham, and you're going to see it's going to be such a boring game, but that's what I tried to do. I tried to bump it to Legendary, seeing how it would go, and if it didn't work out, then I'd bump it down to World Class until I got the hang of things there, and then move back up to Legendary once I felt comfortable with that. It just makes the episodes a bit more entertaining. It gives you guys something to actually watch, rather than me playing out a 0-0 ball draw and showing you like a 40-yard strike that we have in like the 88th minute of the game, which goes high and wide. It's pretty pointless me doing that, in all honesty, and yeah. So hopefully you guys aren't annoyed in terms of that, at the fact that I'm still on World Class. It is only the second episode of the career mode, so you just have to bear with me. The game's only been out, what, a day now for me, so in terms of that, I haven't really had too much playing time to try and get myself up. And obviously when a new game always comes out, you're going to be seeing people playing it on lower difficulties so they get the hang of it, especially this one. This has changed a hell of a lot from FIFA 16, sorry. And if you haven't actually got the game yet, it's going to be interesting when you do get it. If you're getting it for something like Christmas, the whole Ultimate Team bit added towards it with the squad building challenges and stuff like that is such a good idea that EA have implemented, that I do kind of think to myself, FIFA's going in a positive way now, so fingers crossed that FIFA will be here to sort of stay for the next, you know, sort of 5-ish years, because there's always a possibility that FIFA might die out in terms of that. I know it's always growing, and the fact that more people play each year, but eventually FIFA could hit the point where they're out. Like, look at Call of Duty. Call of Duty way back used to be one of the best games ever. I used to love my time coming home from school, playing Call of Duty. I knew that's what I was going to do. But then all of a sudden, they tried to change it too much, and then it just got to the point where I wasn't enjoying it, and a lot of people weren't enjoying it. Yes, they got new people in to play it, but a lot of the hardcore Call of Duty players stopped playing Call of Duty because they didn't enjoy it anymore. But they've actually brought out Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered as well. It's coming out in November. So obviously, I'll be going back to that. I'll be playing it. That's one of the first Call of Duty games I ever played. Way back in like 2007 when I was quite young. So yeah, I'll be going back and playing that. And like I said, if FIFA goes the same way it does, where it's constantly improving, I am enjoying this FIFA, but I don't want it to change way too much and not feel like FIFA anymore. I want it to still have that FIFA feel, but get better every year, if that makes sense. I don't want it to sort of change too much and then people not enjoy it and then it lose people who play it. And you know what I'm saying? It's a bit like that, yeah. So that's basically all I've got to say on that subject. But once you get it at Christmas time, if anyone hasn't actually already got the game, you'll be in for a treat. It's a very good, entertaining game this year, and I have liked what the Frostbite have done with it. So it looks a lot better as well, to be honest with you. Graphics-wise, it looks so much better than it did in FIFA 16, which is very hard to do because I thought FIFA 16 looked quite good, as we should have been 1-0 up in this game with Chris Wood, as he fires wide somehow. I don't know how on earth that didn't end up in the back of the net. Look how close it was as it went past the post. Into the 31st minute of this game as we create ourselves another chance. Chris Wood again, first time shot, caught the keeper by surprise, but unfortunately could only hit the post. And then from the resulting throw-in, you're going to see, I think we have an effort off at this, as I think it's Sacco goes over to take the throw-in. Yeah, as I show you it in really slow time. Throw it down the line here into the right back as we give it inside to Ronaldo Vieira, who's going to have an effort at goal himself, but it's a solid save from the Birmingham keeper between the sticks, and it's still 0-0 in this game. 44th minute now, Pablo Hernandez does some good work alongside, I think it's Ronaldo Vieira, gets inside, has an effort at goal, and somehow the ball ends up at the back of the net. But how it ends up in the back of the net, I have no idea, because you're going to see it again from this replay. I don't think it should be credited to Pablo Hernandez, because I'm not even sure it's Pablo Hernandez who gets the final touch here, as he runs off celebrating. As we can see, who is it actually gets that touch? I don't even have an idea as to who that is. Is it Pablo Hernandez? I think it actually might be Pablo Hernandez who gets the final touch. But anyways, to score a goal that way on world-class difficulty and possibly win the game off that, I was very happy, I have to say, as it went down as an own goal. Thomas Kuszczak with the own goal. There you go. 88th minute now as we create ourselves another chance. Pablo Hernandez as we, on 81st, sorry, as we create it. As we go down the left-hand side with Kamaru, who came off the bench, I think. Oh no, Kamaru must have been starting. I can't remember entirely what I did this game as we put the ball into the box, and who else but Chris Wood, as a committed men forward, comes into the middle of the area and manages to slot it home, sliding in on the ball to make it 2-0 to us in the dying minutes of the game. It was a good pressure from Birmingham, I have to say. They caused us a bit of an issue. I had to get men behind the ball, but they committed too many men forward, and with Kamaru's pace, I just caught them on the break and managed to make it 2-0. So that was it. And that was all she wrote for this game as well. We managed to win it by 2-0. You're going to see in a second here. We've come a long way, honestly, at the start of FIFA 17, because I have to say, in the demo, I was playing the demo on professional difficulty and losing quite heavily. So in terms of that, I don't think this is going to be my year for FIFA, in all honesty. I don't think I'm going to be very good at this FIFA. I was all right at FIFA 16. I was always up in sort of Division 2, Division 1 of Ultimate Team. You know, I never sort of got below Division 2. I was sort of always up there. But I think this year I'm going to struggle, in all honesty. It isn't my year for FIFA. It's going to take me a long time before I get used to this, as we make two offers here. One for a centre-back and one for Alex Iwobi of Arsenal, obviously. Broken into the first side as an Arsenal fan. I enjoy watching this guy. I think he's very good. He's obviously the nephew of JJ Okocha as well, is Alex Iwobi. So if we can get him into the side, he has a very, very good footballing, I guess, footballing family, let's call it, in JJ Okocha. So if we can get him into the side, maybe he'll do good things for us as well. Him and Ronaldo Vieira at the remainder of this series will be very nice to see if we could both get them into the sort of 80s, maybe even high 80s. I'm not sure what potential Ronaldo Vieira has. I didn't want to look it up on SoFIFA because I sort of didn't want to spoil it for myself. I don't know what potential Iwobi has. But looking at them both in real life, I'd like to say Iwobi has quite a decent potential, and I'd like to say Ronaldo Vieira has at least potential of just over 80, maybe low 80s, I'd like to say. If he doesn't, I'll be disappointed, in all honesty. I haven't checked it out, so I didn't want to look at any of these. I didn't want to look at any of the young stars in this FIFA and look at their potential. Obviously, the obvious ones that FIFA have released themselves, you can sort of see. But in terms of that, I didn't want to look at them and sort of spoil it for myself. I wanted to sort of work it out myself. I wanted to look at them and just basically try them out for myself. Ronaldo Vieira, Iwobi. At some point, I think I signed another player. I will be signing another player who's of the age of under 20 and looks to be a very solid player. He's quite good in real life as well, so I'm hoping that he has a good potential as well. If I can get him in January, that is. I may not be able to get him in January. We'll have to see if I manage to do that. Hopefully I will be able to. I don't know what funds I've got left in terms of Leeds. They actually gave me a nice budget this year, because Leeds in the previous years haven't had a very good budget, but they actually had an alright budget this season, which is nice to see. That was the side we named for this game, though, up against Fulham. Like I said, this is the first game I play on this series in Legendary difficulty. We had Antonsen, we had Moat right, we had Dallas left, O'Kane, Diarraga, Murphy, with I think we had Dutton or something along those lines at left back. I'm not really sure who he is, in all honesty. I don't know who he is in real life either. Haven't seen him play. That was a side that Fulham would name, though. Sonny Aluko as well, obviously formerly of Hull. They still had a very good side, but they also had Lucas Piazon, formerly of Chelsea, on the bench. So that was a bit surprising to me as to why he wasn't playing. But as you can see here, the first chance of the game, and the only chance pretty much that's worth showing you, was in the 84th minute of the game when we gave them a free kick on the edge of our area, which you're going to see. I don't really know what happened. Why on earth? I think it's Eiling bundles the man down at the right-hand side of the box there. It's beyond me, because we didn't need to do that. And from the resulting corner kick, we almost lost this game, as it was put in the edge of the area. Tried to clear it with a header. It wasn't cleared away, and the shot was going well wide. But if that was on target, I tell you what, Rob Green didn't look very confident in between the sticks there. We could have lost that game by a goal to nil. But that was all she wrote for that game. But like I said, that was Legendary difficulty. If you want to see Legendary, you're going to be seeing 0-0 ball draws. There you go. One shot apiece, 0 on target. And they actually had 61% of possession to my 39, which is what I'm saying. In terms of a game, it's got to be one of the most boring games I've ever played on FIFA. And if you want to see Legendary, I will bump it up and I will play it. But do be expecting 0-0 ball draws, 1-0 ball losses, 1-0 ball wins. It's not going to be a lot of chances like you see normally in the games. But it's entirely up to you. I'll keep it world class or I'll keep it Legendary. It's entirely what you guys say. If you want it world class and want more entertaining episodes, then great. If you don't, that's fine with me as well. I'll still bump up to Legendary, but like I said, the episodes might not be as entertaining as they usually are. As we make our first signing in the Leeds United career mode of Unai Garcia comes into the club to be a backup centre-back alongside Carl Bartley, Janssen, and I think we have Cooper as well coming off an injury as well, Liam Cooper. So once we get them back, we have 4 solid centre-backs who can come into the side at any point as we take on Sheff Wednesday for the 4th and final game of this episode. And it's been 17 minutes so far in this commentary, and my voice is absolutely going. But yeah, like I said in yesterday's episode, apologies if I sound a bit different. I have got a cold at the moment. That was where we were in the league table, 5th. Sheff Wednesday down in 13th. And Sheff Wednesday, for me, have a very good side. I think Sheff Wednesday are the ones to watch in the Championship this season. But in terms of that, in FIFA, they're not doing too great at the moment, but obviously it's early days. There's only been a few games in the league, so there's no way you can sort of look at the league and say who's going to do what this year at the moment in FIFA, as it's only been, what, 4 games, 5 games, so I don't think we can sort of read into it too much. If I'd have been bottom at this point in the career mode, yes, it would have been, well, bad, but I wouldn't have said that we were going down, put it that way. As the first chance would fall our way in the 45th minute, and I'm only going to show you the goal in this one because there's no point. We've already got to a very long time in the episode, so I wanted to just show you the goal in this one. And what a goal it was! Antonsen on the edge of the area, curling one home in the 45th minute, stroke of half time. And if you didn't know, guys, finesse shots in this game are absolutely unreal. They look so good as well. You're going to see it here. It looks even better from this angle, as you can see. Antonsen, nice finish, and you're going to see it one more angle, I think. There you go. This even looks even better. Like, just look at that. Just look at that finesse shot from Antonsen, right in the top corner. Keeper can't reach it. But finesse shots in this game look to be a very, very solid way of finishing. They were OP in like FIFA 11 days, and I think they're probably even more OP in this game, which is it has its benefits and it also has its negatives. Like, if you play an Ultimate Team, finesse shots are going to be broken, but there are a number of shots in this game that are broken apparently, which if you haven't already seen other YouTubers doing them, you will be seeing it obviously in other YouTubers. They'll show you it in more detail, because obviously I don't get as much time as they do to play FIFA because it's not my job. Their job is to play FIFA on a regular basis and give you guys content. Mine's not. I don't get to play FIFA as much as they do, so I won't actually know every single tip and trick under the book that they do right now. But that would be the way the game would end. 1-0, we finished there as we pick up another 3 points in the league. We are coming towards the end of this episode of Career Mode. If you have enjoyed this 19-minute episode, then don't forget to drop that like button. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope this support on the series keeps going because it's been so good so far in the first episode. And fingers crossed we go to over 100 episodes in this series. I would love that if we can reach it. The Ultimate Team episode will be coming out, or the series will be coming out soon. I just have to get Alex Hunter's card off of the journey and put onto Ultimate Team, so I'll be able to have access to it and use it. And once that's done, I will be uploading the first episode of the Ultimate Team series. But for now, hope you enjoyed this episode of Career Mode. I've been Danny, and I'm out. Goodbye.
Reading 1, Brighton and Hove Albion.